Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Katie Asco from Dublin, Ireland, and these are your latest headlines from around the world. The Diocese of Tulsa in the U.S. state of Oklahoma has expressed grief over the recent shooting. 4 people were killed and several were injured when an unidentified man armed with a rifle and handgun opened fire inside the Natalie Medical Building near St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Wednesday, June 1st. The Diocese of Tulsa has urged the faithful to pray for the victims of the shooting, which comes a week after the Texas school shooting in Uvalde. Bishop David Conderla of Tulsa Diocese implored the faithful to join him in prayer for the injured and for the dead. The diocese posted on Twitter, quote, Bishop Conderla, several priests and religious sisters of mercy are on site to offer pastoral support to those affected by the shooting. Police officers have confirmed the death of 4 people, as well as the shooter, who is believed to have died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Decrying the incident, Archbishop Paul Coakley of Oklahoma City called for an end to the killing of innocent people, and Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt said it was a senseless act of violence and hatred. On Wednesday, June 1st, Pope Francis nominated Cardinal Blessed Cupich of Chicago as a member of the Congregation for Divine Worship and the Discipline of the Sacraments, as well as Cardinal Cupich, Irish-American Cardinal Kevin Farrell, the prefect of the Dicastery for the Laity, the Family and Life, has been included in the congregation, along with Archbishop Augustin de Noia, who is the adjunct secretary of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. Some of the other prelates who have been named as members of the congregation are Cardinal Mario Gresh, the Secretary General of the Synod of Bishops, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, and Cardinal Charles Bo of Myanmar. On Wednesday, the U.S. state of Illinois officially repealed its Parental Notice of Abortion Act, now allowing minor girls to fully access abortion on their own. Various pro-life supporters have spoken against the repeal, which was signed by the governor last December and came into effect this week. Robert Gilligan, Catholic Conference of Illinois Executive Director, condemned the repeal, saying, quote, effective today, Illinois strips parents of their rights to be involved in the medical care of their daughters and leaves girls increasingly vulnerable to sex traffickers. With this, Illinois has become the only state in the U.S. Midwest to remove parental notification. Since August 2013, minor girls were required to get permission from an adult in charge of them before seeking an abortion. The Catholic bishops of the state had opposed the repeal of the law when it was approved in December. Ukrainian Greek Catholic Major Archbishop Shevchuk has expressed gratitude to the Holy Father for his empathy towards the Ukrainian people and for praying for peace during the May 31st Rosary in Rome. During the Rosary service, the Pope prayed for peace in all conflict zones, including Europe. The Major Archbishop said, quote, I thank the Holy Father from the bottom of my heart for his empathy with the Ukrainian people, who are suffering from unjust aggression. The top prelate also thanked all 18,000 people who took part in the service both virtually and in person. Several Marian sanctuaries took part in the Rosary from across the world, including the Marian Spiritual Center in Ukraine. In Italy, the Diocese of Assisi Nocera Umbrogualdo Tadino has announced that the sacred remains of Blessed Carlo Acoutis will be permanently exhibited for veneration. The remains of the Italian teenager are kept in the Church of the Dispossession in Assisi, where St. Francis renounced all material possessions. A June 1st statement from Bishop of Assisi Monsignor Domencio Sorrentino says that the places of St. Francis and the sacred relics of Blessed Acoutis are ways to meet the Lord. Born in 1991, Blessed Acoutis exhibited great piety from an early age. He prayed the Rosary daily, attended Holy Mass frequently, and used to pray a holy hour. After being diagnosed with leukemia, he offered his suffering for the Lord, the Pope, and the Church. He passed away on October 12, 2006, and was beatified on October 10, 2020. After a gap of 2 years, Pope Francis will once again receive in audience a group of children who are visually impaired and suffer from other disabilities. On Saturday, June 4th, the Holy Father will receive about 160 children at the Apostolic Palace. It is customary that every year a group of children who live in conditions of vulnerability and fragility are brought to the Vatican for an interaction with the Pontiff. A few Ukrainian refugee children, welcomed in Rome by the Church of St. Sophia, will also attend the meeting with the Pope. The violence in Nigeria continues. In the latest incident, armed Fulani militants stormed a Christian village in Plateau State, killing 3 believers who had just attended an evening service. Dressed in black and combat uniform, the militants rode into Adu village on motorcycles and sprayed bullets. 3 others were gravely injured in the attack. According to staff of the persecution watchdog International Christian Concern, the local hospital lacks amenities and medicines to treat victims of such attacks. According to the locals, this is the 4th time that militants have targeted this village, and there are allegations that the military is doing nothing to provide security cover to the village in spite of repeated attacks. Attacks on Christian villages and killing of believers by armed Fulani militants are rampant in the northern and middle parts of Nigeria. Ahead of the apostolic visit of Pope Francis to South Sudan, church leaders are gearing up to host ecumenical prayer sessions. These prayer gatherings are aimed at promoting greater reconciliation in the nation, where the wounds of a civil war and conflict with inter-ethnic armed groups are yet to heal. Speaking to Radio Bakita, a Catholic station, Archbishop Stephen Emeyu Martin of Juba Archdiocese said there will be reconciliation prayer so that all of us are reconciled before the Holy Father comes. He said a prayer session will be held at the venue of the ecumenical gathering on July 6th, which will be attended by Pope Francis, Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby, and moderator of the Church of Scotland, Jim Wallace. The Pope is making an ecumenical visit to the country from July 5th to 7th. This will be the first time a pontiff is making a visit to this young African nation. Those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow and visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.